This is an amazing report. This is surprising as hell. Blew my mind when I saw this while I was at work. This is from Tech Power Up. And some of you might have remembered a while back that AMD came up with this slide that said X3D reimagined or 3D V-Cache reimagined. It looks like this is what they're talking about. Apparently, AMD has flipped the script. Again, from Tech Power Up, BTA Runner, the editor and senior editor in chief, I guess you could say, of Tech Power Up, has this report. I'm in their forums reading this here. Right here's that slide, X3D Reimagined. This is what he says. Much of the Ryzen 7 98,000 or 9800 X3D teaser material from AMD had the recurring buzzwords X3D Reimagined, causing us to speculate what it could be. 9550 Pro, a reliable source with hardware leaks, says that AMD has redesigned the way the CPU complex die, or the CCD, and 3D V-Cache die, the L3D, are stacked together. In past generations of X3D processors, such as the 5800 X3D, the Vermeer X, and the 7800 X3D, which is the Raphael X, the L3 cache, the L3 die, is stacked on top of the CCD. It would stack above the central region of the CCD that has the on-die 32 megabytes of L3 cache, while blocks of structural silicon would be placed on the top edges of the CCD that have the CPU cores, with these structural silicon blocks performing the crucial task of transferring heat from the CPU cores to the heat spreader. This is about to change. If the leaks are correct, AMD has inverted the CCD L3D stack with the 9000 series X3D, such that the Zen 5 CCD is now on top and the L3D is below it, under the central region of the CCD. The CPU cores now dissipate heat directly to the heat spreader as they do on regular 9000 series processors without the 3D V-Cache technology. The way we imagine they achieved this is by enlarging the L3 die to align with the size of the CCD and serve as a kind of base tile. The L3D would have to be peppered with TSVs that connect the CCD to the fiberglass substrate below. We know where AMD is going with this in the future. Right now, the L3D base tile contains the 64 megabytes of 3D V-Cache that gets appended to the 32 megabytes on die L3. But in the future, probably with Zen 6, AMD could design the CCDs with TSVs even for the per-core L2 caches. This piece of speculation also perfectly explains what X3D Boost could be. With the CCD making direct contact with the IHS the way it is in non-X3D processors, the X3D processors could have the same overclocking capabilities as the regular chips. There are much fewer thermal hurdles in the way, and AMD can go ahead and give these chips the same TDP and PPT values as regular chips, as well as higher clock speeds. The company used to be conservative with the PPT and clock speeds on its X3D processors in the past because of what happened to Dirk Bauer's original 7800 X3D, where he had that bubble that popped up. So now things are changing. AMD is expected to launch the 9800 X3D on November 7th. But this is amazing and it is interesting because if this is true and if this leak turns out to be the case, and this little experiment of flipping the cache beneath the cores, then there's no reason to continue producing the X3D line. They can apply this to all AMD processors going forward. All processors can have this V-Cache beneath the cores. Huh. They could have just shot themselves to one extent. They could have shot themselves in the foot. But then again, if this technology is to be believed, and if this happens, why continue to produce specific X3D branded CPUs? All of AMD's CPUs can then have this technology and this feature going forward. And if that's the case, and if that's what happens, ooh, Intel's up shit creek without a paddle. That would be a heck of a development right there. Man, let's just hope it's true. Because then, if that does happen, then the available, I mean, there's no real justification for AMD to flood the market with specific SKUs. They can just go right ahead, put this 3D V-Cache in every single processor going forward, and boom, shorten their SKUs, shorten the availability of certain SKUs, or maybe do what Nvidia does, find spots and stuff in there to place certain SKUs in there. But this is something else. I certainly hope it's true because performance, that means performance is going to go out the off the chain. But it also means that the justification for the X3D line and the moniker and the marketing behind it is on borrowed time. AMD can just, well, fuck it. Let's put the 3D V cache on every single CPU going forward. What do you think? Am I off base here? Let me know in the comments section. Ring the bell and subscribe. Tagonzo Media, wrong transition. I love it. Flying by the seat of our pants, folks. Like and subscribe to Gonzo Media. We'll see you in the next one.